So upon further recollection, they did take the clear and the cream with them, but they did not take the EPO and the insulin or any of the syringes.
Well, in December of 2008, you had a copy of the grand jury testimony of Mr. Mosley, right?
Yes.
Okay. In fact, there were newspaper articles at or about that time in which you were quoted discussing what was in the grand jury testimony, right?
Yes.
Okay. So you knew that Mr. Mosley had talked about this flaxseed issue, right?
He's not the only one.
Just to answer the question.
Yes, I knew he talked about flaxseed.
So my question is then why, knowing that, did you write?
Objection. That he signed an affidavit.
Why, knowing that, did you sign a sworn statement in which you claim that Mosley and Hudson did not carry drugs?
Well,
all right. Did you make a signed statement that
that's what it says.
Hudson should not carry the drugs on the airplane flight, so I shipped them to Hudson via Federal Express?
Sorry, repeat your question again?
Why, having read the grand jury testimony, which you say is the basis for your now recalling that some of the drugs were taken on the plane, did you write that Mosley, Hudson, I agree that Mosley and Hudson should not carry the drugs on the airplane flight back to California, so I shipped them to Hudson?
Once again, further review of the materials.
What materials?
This calendar. I just told you that, then this triggered thinking that triggered something else, and then I realized that there's no way if they didn't take him back on the plane, how could he take it on the Sunday? It was in his possession.
But you had all of that at the time you signed this declaration?
I wasn't reviewing it at the time that I signed it. I didn't look at this and look at that and to determine that they were congruent and sign it. Okay. I reviewed it, and to the best of my ability, the information was correct as I read it, and I signed it.
I don't even know what the hell I have here. Exhibit 8.
Is this for me or for her? For you?
This is a production from your files. This came from your files, didn't it?
No, this came from the court.
This.
Oh, let me show you this. Oh, that came from their files.
Yes. Okay. I'll make a representation that it came from your files. Who is Dr. The first page? Who is Dr. Halevi Goldman?
He was the medical director of Balco at the time.
Okay. And he wrote a letter to Peninsula asking for certain tests to be done on Mr. Mosley, right?
Yes.
And am I correct that Dr. Goldman did not request any urine samples?
He did not.
Okay. But your recollection is nonetheless that there were urine samples taken?
Yes.
Okay. Is it your understanding that the lab would take urine samples in the absence of a doctor's letter requesting them?
You wouldn't need them to collect that. They just pee in a container. This requires a venipuncture.
I'm sorry, you would need them to collect that?
To collect a urine sample.
Do you know, well, we're at the end of the tape, right?
This requires a phlebotomist to draw the blood, centrifuge it, and process it. Urine, you just pee in a container, end of story.
But have
So
you
you
ever...
don't need Peninsula Hospital to do that.
Well, but if you're asking you would agree that if there were requests that it be done at Peninsula Hospital, that Peninsula Hospital would not do it in the absence of a doctor's request.
Yes.
Okay. So you would agree that there was no, to your knowledge, there was never a request by a doctor to Peninsula Hospital to take a urine sample?
That's correct.
So what is your basis for believing that a urine sample was taken at Peninsula Hospital?
You see where it says red blood cell and plasma minerals?
Yeah.
And once again, this is, many years ago, and basing it on, we routinely, on athletes, collected these two samples, red blood cells and plasma plus urine, to look at the intracellular concentrations, the circulating extracellular, and then the excretion, so you could look at the ratios between the three. So it was a standard part of the protocol.
So your testimony is, as I understand it, that because it was a standard part of your testimony, of your protocol, that even though your medical director did not request a urine test at Peninsula Hospital took the urine test anyway.
If you notice, it says the collection of blood.
Yeah, but listen
Then
to the
it says
question.
that they did perform the test, but if you look, they didn't perform the tests on this green top vacutainer, the red blood cells or the plasma. That was done at Balcom.
But my question is, you testified earlier that the urine was collected at Peninsula.
I don't think
Are
so.
you saying that the blood was not collected at Peninsula?
I'm saying the blood was collected there.
How about, are you saying that the urine was collected at Peninsula?
No.
It was not collected at Peninsula?
No.
Okay. Let's, the tape is over, so let's take a 10-minute break.
Time is 3:17 p.m. This is case statement 2, in the video deposition of Victor Conte. Microphone. Oops.